Hey, what's up? I'm Fred Armisen. Check out Forbes. Our new issue is really great. There's a lot of great stuff in there. You don't have to look at all the ads, but we've got some really good articles coming up, so we'll see you soon. The most fun things about SNL is just getting to hang out with that cast, those writers. All that matters really is the sketch. It's how they write it and if it's funny. So accuracy is a little overrated, you know? It's like part of your personality has to come through.
So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions from the session this morning, but also...
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought you were very... Well, I think I told you before we walked in here, it would have been great to see your Steve Jobs impression, but you said you had some reservations about doing it.
If I stand up and start doing stuff, it's a little bit like showing off. Like, hey, I'm going to do my this, you know, unless people demand it.
Somebody asks you to do it.
Oh, I just remember that he really loved numbers. So he would pace around the stage and he would say, over 1 million downloads. 1 million downloads. 1 million, and then the numbers up there. And I loved it. It was very hypnotic and just like sort of wandering side to side and saying that.
You told a great story about meeting him at the Fifth Avenue store in New York.
I did on SNL a few times, and then I went to the Apple store, and then they were opening it, and then the people there were like, you know, do you want to meet Steve? Just wait here, wait here, wait here, and all of a sudden he appeared. And the sketch we had done is that I introduced the iPod Invisa. So it was just like this. And when I saw him, he pointed at me and he goes like this, he goes.
What did you talk about other than he nodded to you about your impression?
So it was something about design where I was like, blah, 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 design this, design that. And there's also a ring of people around us, like, you know, just kind of like there's a lot of activity. And I just remember loving the conversation. It was really pleasant and nice. And I was psyched to meet him. And that was it. And also the one thing about, you know, my girlfriend at the time taking the picture and him saying, just being sort of like wondering what it was for. And we were like, no, we're not going to put it online. We're not going to send it to people. It's just for personal use, which is what it was. So there was that part of it which I really liked, that he was engaged enough to even address it.
So the secret photo of Steve Jobs is going to be passed down in your will to future generations?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about all the use of tech. I mean, obviously in Portlandia we see a lot of tech, but when did you first get an Apple product?
In the year 2000, I moved to Los Angeles, and a friend of mine, Will, had a Mac that he wanted to get rid of. Hey, why don't you take this? And it was like, you know, those big beige ones with all the, you know, so much stuff. And that was my first computer, and I've been with them ever since.
What made you come and be the keynote speaker at a tech conference, especially this one?
Well, I've been wanting to come for a long time, and they just asked me. I don't know who asked who or how that worked, but whatever, the question came up, and I was like, hell yes, I can't wait. It's cool because everyone's kind of like-minded, you know, we all like the same thing, and it's not overly cultish. It's not in a way that like everything's great. Like people sort of criticize it too a little bit, which is great. It seems very healthy, as opposed to talking about heroin or you know, like, you know, it's computers. It's like it's healthy and sweet.
You bring that up after we just saw the clip about people having about you going crazy with technology.
Email.
Fred?
Help. More text. I gotta watch all these movies before they have to return them. Up on my queue and top 10 family photos. Okay, we'll send one more text. I think the reason I want to my TV.
There's too many things going on.
I want to check my texts.
You're out, right?
Help me, please. There's an addictive quality to it. Anything can be an addiction. Whenever people criticize technology, it's like, oh, which I hate this criticism, like people don't talk to each other enough. And I think it's the opposite. Here we are, everyone's getting together.
You talked about why you're not so social, that it's a distraction for you. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I want to focus on coming up with ideas and writing. It takes away from work if I'm just, you know, on social media. I'm not good at coming up with little jokes, little observations about the news. It's for somebody else to do.
A question that a lot of people ask tech users is how it's changed how you work.
Using Portlandia as an example, you know, I don't have to stress about what time it's on. Don't have to stress. The conversation of, oh, it's up against this. It's like, people will, DVR it or send it to each other online or watch it online. It better be good because it'll get repeated. Right. People will look at it on their iPads or on their laptop, and so I'm up close to it. So audiences are up close. So you have to really make sure your hair looks, the wigs look good, the makeup is good, the costumes are good, all the timing of the editing. People will watch it over and over, so you really have to be careful with it.
If you could have any piece of tech designed for you, what would it be?
A video camera to shoot things that I don't need a camera person. So like, in a way, physically it would be, a sort of belt with the stick and a camera and a microphone for situations where we can't find a camera person, It's like, and floated microphone. And then sound-wise, I wish there was a sound recorder that could digitally erase anything that is irrelevant. Not by frequency, but by the DNA of what the sound is.
Context.
Yeah. You do all the tech stuff mostly,
I do.
right?
I'm a tech reporter, yeah.
There's a band you should see who uses 100% tech, and they're called Kraftwerk. I saw them once, and for their encore, they didn't even come out on stage. It was robots of them playing. So, I don't know why I just told you that. Hola, ¿cómo está todo? ¿Muy bien? Esto es Forbes. Estás viéndole el Forbes Magazine. Que te vaya bien. Paz. Fred Armisen.